Ukraine has launched another major attack this morning deep inside occupied Russian territory, this time on the Kerch Bridge in Crimea. Folks, this is significant news. Yet another operation that took several months to plan. Ukrainian authorities say that they struck the underpinnings of this major bridge in occupied Crimea, which Russia has occupied since 2014. They put explosives at the base of various pilings on the bottom of the bridge and exploded it. They placed 1,100 kilograms of TNT, detonated the explosives, and now the bridge is essentially inoperable. It's very dangerous to go over the bridge at the moment given the explosion. This is yet another embarrassment to Vladimir Putin. How can Ukraine, if a country doesn't have these military capabilities, strike so deep inside Russian territory, whether Russian occupied or Russian owned? This is significant news this morning. Now, in addition, Donald Trump woke up this morning railing against one senator, Rand Paul from Kentucky. And the reason why is because Trump doesn't have the votes to pass his big, beautiful budget bill in the United States Senate. And Rand Paul is the reason. Now, before I continue, last night I got my first ever award for this work. Thank you so much. I am on a high right now. Please consider subscribing to my Substack to support my work, or sending a one-time donation via Venmo to Aaron Aaron-Parnas Parnas. I can only continue doing this with your support, so please consider subscribing today. Now, this morning, Donald Trump on Truth Social writes, Rand votes no on everything, but he never has any practical or constructive ideas. His ideas are actually crazy losers. The people of Kentucky can't stand him. This is a big growth bill. Rand Paul has very little understanding of the BBB, especially the tremendous growth that is coming. He loves voting no on everything. He thinks it's good politics, but it's not. The BBB is a big winner. In addition, FEMA employees were shocked when the new FEMA chief, who recently was installed by Donald Trump, told employees, or rather, according to the Department of Homeland Security, joked to employees that he was unaware that the United States had a hurricane season. The United States hurricane season lasts between June 1st and November 31st, and FEMA is the agency responsible for disaster preparedness and disaster relief. And well, now the FEMA chief is saying, I didn't know about hurricane season, and that left staffers within the department shocked. Speaking about FEMA, months after devastating tornadoes struck Mississippi, local residents, including many of them being Trump supporters, say that they feel abandoned by the federal government. One resident remarked, quote, we haven't seen the federal folks down here, expressing frustration at the lack of visible aid or response. At the Crimean detention facility in Miami, Florida, numerous reports have surfaced describing serious issues and human rights abuses such as food and water shortages, unsanitary living conditions, and inadequate medical care. The Trump administration, amid complaints, closed down 3 Department of Homeland Security oversight offices that are responsible for investigating these kinds of allegations. In addition, a U.S. man, Demetric Scott, has been charged after attempting or admitting to falsely accusing an immigrant of plotting to kill Donald Trump. Scott wrote letters pretending to be Ramon Morales Reyes, the man he also charged with assaulting, in an attempt to frame him. Moreover, conditions at the federal prison in Leavenworth, Kansas, where about 80 men are being held in ICE custody, have come under scrutiny following alarming reports of medical neglect and prolonged lockdowns. One detainee with severe kidney pain was unable to get treatment due to language barriers and unaddressed Spanish language medical requests. Another, suffering from a toothache, was denied dental care and was told to buy ibuprofen, which he couldn't afford. Miguel Angel Lopez Luvian, a longtime U.S. resident and winery worker with no U.S. criminal record, was detained without warning during a routine ICE check-in despite having a pending legal appeal. ICE officials are ramping up their operations in the United States of America. Donald Trump's trade war is expected to cause significant economic harm than previously predicted, according to new OECD reports. The organization has cut its 2025 U.S. growth forecast from 2.2% to 1.6%, citing the rising tariffs and declining immigration, along with reduced federal employment. Despite pledging to bring back business to the United States, Donald Trump's company is expanding more aggressively overseas than ever before since the 2024 election. Iran is expected to reject the latest nuclear deal put forth on the table by Donald Trump and his administration. And finally, folks, the Doomsday fish is back. The Doomsday fish has resurfaced. A rarely seen oarfish has washed up on Tasmania's remote west coast. Known as the king of the herrings, this deep sea creature can grow up to 8 meters long and typically lives at depths of around 500 meters deep. That's all the news right now. Subscribe to my Substack to support my work or send that one-time donation to my Venmo to Aaron-Parnas, and I'll see you this evening.